It's episode 42 of Dishin with the Delco Duo, or now,
just the Delco Duo.
And we are your Delco Duo. Monica Cryan here.
I'm Jenna Meisner. And if you're new here, this is your first time listening, first time watching. What we do every week for you is we take your issues and we give you our advice, whether it's life, love, relationships, romantic relationships, coworkers, neighbors.
Yes.
We put our 2 cents in.
We do, and we give you some free advice. So now we are the Delco Duo. No, we're
dropping the dishing, and we'll tell you why next episode.
Next episode, we'll tell you why. A little bit, though, our boss thought it was too centric on food, and we don't talk about food.
We don't talk about food at all. So now we have these fancy new cards that just say the Delco Duo. So more to come on that.
Stay tuned next week.
Is that your water bottle making that noise?
Yeah, you know how
yeah, that was an odd noise.
I had to let the air out.
Okay, good. Let that breathe. All right, let us breathe. It is Thursday, and it's
let's
time
get to the debrief.
We are debriefing on this Thursday morning.
And what did you want to talk about?
So I wanted to talk about The Ultimatum. It is a Netflix series. I think it was released in April or May. It was spring. I know we're still in spring, but it feels like summer now.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it a lot on social media. Not we, they, the people.
The peeps.
And I finally had a chance to sit down and watch it. And basically the premise of the show is 6 couples who have been in a relationship for about 2 years plus.
Okay.
One of them has issued an ultimatum to their significant other. You're either going to marry me or we're done. So Nick and Vanessa Lachey are the hosts of this. It just keeps getting more bizarre. And basically it's a 3-week trial marriage with different people. So they arrive to this location.
That is so messed up.
They all talk to each other's significant others. You choose who you would like to have a 3-week trial with. So like say me and Tate went and you and Eugene went and I liked Eugene. I would pick Eugene. If Eugene picked me, then we would live together for 3 weeks. And if you pick Tate, so basically swapping significant others and living with them for 3 weeks. And then you go back to living with your original person you showed up with for 3 weeks. And then you make a decision whether you want to marry the person you came with or you want to leave with the person you met in the experience.
Wow.
It is the most toxic television I've seen. Wild television I've seen. And I can't wait for season 2.
Oh, okay. So
I'm assuming they're gonna have new
watch
couples.
all of them?
I did, and there's an ending. Like you get your answers, but it's like Love Is Blind, any of those dating shows on Netflix. There's gonna be a whole group of people.
So I don't want to give away too much, but like, what percentage of people are going home with their originals?
Not a high percentage. Some people are just breaking up altogether. Like they're not leaving with anyone. They've just decided I don't want anybody. I just want to have my own time. But I wanted to talk about this more. Not so about like the series, but the idea concept of an ultimatum.
Well, ultimatums I've heard through television shows are bad. They're bad.
You've heard? Why do you say that?
Like on The Office, there's an ultimatum, and that's not good. And like, there's been, I think,
is it bad to receive an ultimatum or is it bad to issue?
It's bad to issue an ultimatum. You sound like a crazy person, being like, "It's me or the highway." Well, that's not right. You can't give someone an ultimatum.
But could you understand the frustration if you're dating someone for 10 plus years and you're just not moving forward in any aspect of your life? I think I would be frustrated.
I guess.
So now the people on the show are like 24, 25, and they've been dating for 2 years. Relax. Right, you're really young.
Is nothing.
Some of them are like a year and a half. I'm like, why are we issuing ultimatums?
That's awful.
You haven't even had the time yet to really decide if that's someone you want to be with. But if I'm going into this 10 plus years and there's no moving forward, then I don't think an ultimatum's necessarily the worst thing in the world.
Oh, I at a certain point, I'm just kind of like, oh, now it's not that you give them an option. You just say, we're breaking up. I wanted to move on, and now you didn't want to. It's too late. Like, we're done.
So you don't want to give them a chance because you feel like you're forcing them into.
I think you should have obviously conversations of like, where is this leading? You know what I mean? And if they say, oh, I have plans on proposing, or let's move in together. It should never just be like out of the blue, either now or never. Like, that's not right. This is a decision that takes time and needs to be discussed. I think
how much time is the question.
Definitely not 2 years. That makes me sad that this show is giving this people.
But it also was like an accelerated process of really determining like, okay, this person's the thought of the show is let's get out of this now before it's a divorce, before kids are involved. Let's figure out right now if you love me and want to be with me, or if there's more fish in the sea.
Well, and I also think I do like the idea of showing the person who's dragging their feet, hey, look what else is out there. I'm a pretty good catch, idiot.
Well, that's what all the people on the show who issued the ultimatum thought. They were like, my significant other is going to realize how amazing I am. They're never going to be able to live with anyone else. Like, I'm so attractive. I cook, I clean. And it really, like, the tables turned. All the people who issued the ultimatum were then like, why did I do this? Because my significant other is clearly enjoying their life, their fake life for 3 weeks with this other person.
But I think it just goes to show, like you can't give an ultimatum. You might not be the perfect person either. And that's in this show, are most of the people issuing the ultimatum women?
No, there's a man.
Good. One man?
There's one man. One man.
Of course, we're going to make it look like the woman always is given the ultimatum.
Actually, no, there was 2 men, but one couple left early. And their issue was more about children. And I'm like, this show's not going to fix that because you're not going to be with someone and experience children in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So there was 2 men that issued the ultimatum. I won't say which couples if you haven't watched it. Again, it's been out since April, but 2 out of the 5 couples ended up making it. 2 out of 5.
Jeez, that's a bad.
But so it just gets you thinking, like the idea of an ultimatum. Wheels turn.
I really do think there are other options. An ultimatum is I don't ever think a really good idea. There are other options. You know what I mean? You don't have to say. It's kind of along the lines of like you don't have to propose. But let's see.
I want movement.
Yeah. That you can say. Don't give them an ultimatum. Propose or we're done. That's not right. That's proposing. I do want to see that, but
you don't have Netflix.
as we've talked about before, I don't have Netflix.
That's all we talk about nowadays is because I just watch so much stuff on Netflix and everything I watch, and you watch everything on Hulu, and I don't have Hulu, so it's like we can never connect on anything.
Which Hulu's got some good stuff, but they don't have the talkers. You know what I mean? Like
they don't have the shock value of what is happening on like the other Netflix I was just talking about, the Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey series with the break off of the Mormon Church. That's another one that's going to blow your mind if you're looking for something.
And then every time you're like, oh, this is blowing my mind, this Netflix series. I'm like, I'm watching The Dropout on Hulu, and it's about Elizabeth Holmes. Remember, they act like it's a really interesting, but
they don't have the documentaries.
Yeah,
they can't compete with the documentaries, the docuseries, even though the Ultimatum was more of like a dating show, I guess.
But they don't have that on Hulu, so I'm definitely missing out on some of it. But
and did you know that Vanessa Lachey issued an ultimatum for Nick Lachey, and that was revealed.
Really? Oh, look, worked out for them.
She's throwing a little shade to Jessica Simpson throughout. She's like, he was in a very public marriage, a very public divorce. And I'm like, don't come for Jess.
Yeah, don't.
I love Jessica Simpson, and she kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Even through all of this, Jessica Simpson?
I like she did. I think she's gotten back on track. Okay. But like early Jessica Simpson, like is it chicken or tuna? Jessica Simpson, like that. I loved her.
Yes.
In that time, I think everyone loved her.
Yeah, she was just the girl next door that you kind of felt like, you're like we've all wondered. We've all wondered that, but that's so interesting with Vanessa and Nick Lachey. I didn't know she gave an ultimatum.
We have 3 great issues this morning, the 4th one of our own. And remember, you remain completely anonymous. So if you're watching or listening and you want to tell us a problem you're having, we're not going to blow your spot up. We're not going to, use your name or your location.
Or gender. I'm mixing up these genders sometime, people. That's how secret I want you to remain. So we've got first topic, Elise from Edgemont. My boyfriend smells awful when he gets home from work, but waits several hours until he showers. How do I tell him?
You smell. You need to get in the shower.
Yeah, like before he even gives you a hug, be like, "Oh, I don't want a hug because you stink. Go upstairs." Get that voice. Oh, you stink. Go upstairs.
Is that the exact inflection of the voice?
Yes.
How you should say it?
When I get bossy, I'll either sing what I want them to do. I'm like, "Go upstairs. You smell."
So it lessens the blow.
It does.
Just a little bit.
You don't sound as naggy.
This is hard though. If it's like a newer relationship, this to me is coming off as like a newer relationship, and she doesn't want to be mean or make him feel insecure or bad about himself. Like, it's really hard to tell someone they smell.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really hard. That's like one thing where you tell someone that and it's super embarrassing.
Right, the person then just feels you feel bad that you had to.
And then every time you're coming in the house, you're like,
I
smell.
know.
Like, I would get so insecure that I smelled all the time.
Well, I feel super bad because this is something that people who listen to the podcast need to know. I have no sense of smell whatsoever.
And it's not COVID. This predates COVID. It's always just been.
Right. So I have this weird like allergy, whatever. I have polyps in my nose and I cannot smell anything. And there's nothing we can do about it. So that's it. So I never can smell things. And there are times I'm like, I wonder if something smells. And Eugene's just gotten silent about it. Like a few times, like he'll be like, "Whoo, brush your teeth," and I'm like in the morning, he's like, "Oh God,
and doesn't that really knock your ego?"
Yes,
Oh
and
my
I'm
God,
like,
I have
"Oh my
bad
God,
breath."
I'm so sorry. Like I'm so embarrassed right now, and
Yes.
it stinks." But this
And
is
you guys have
a
been married
relationship.
for 8 years now.
Yeah.
So even that makes you feel weird. If this is a new relationship,
If I'm not reminded, I don't know. But I think that's the thing is just tell him, just be like, "Oh my God, I love you, but oh, you stink when you get home."
I try to pick things that sometimes won't smell awful. So obviously Tate, he coaches lacrosse, and he will come home sometimes and I'll be like, "Oh, you smell like the field." Like that's not bad. It's just you smell like sweat and turf.
You smell
So please go shower.
like the field. What
No,
does
like
that
the
even
field's
mean?
not like it's not that negative. It's like, "Oh, you smell like this. You smell sweaty. You smell like the field."
So the only thing is like you're saying when Tate gets home, you're like, "Oh, you smell." She's saying several hours to shower. Like that's when it needs to be handled.
And there's some point you have to be self-aware. Like, what is your job? Where are you working? Are you working at like a farm? Are you working?
Eugene working at a plant. He comes back and sometimes he's super sweaty and maybe he smells. I wouldn't be able to tell him, but he's super sweaty. And
Seems
I know
like you and Elise's boyfriend need to get together, and then this problem would be completely avoided.
God. And then he can't really say anything because I'd be like, "I've heard you smell." But so you had mentioned, maybe it's a new relationship but she's saying when he gets home. So now they live together and they've got to home. She could have said, when he gets back to the apartment, I'd be like, "Oh, it's a new relationship." They said home. They consider where they live a home. That's a kind of tried and true relationship.
This is true.
And she's talking several hours. It's time to just be like, "Listen, go up, go shower." Tell him to relax.
Go relax.
Go
See,
relax.
That's like you smell like a field. It's a nice way.
It's a nice
of
way.
saying, go take some time to yourself. Take a hot shower. You worked so hard today.
Turn that knob up.
Okay.
Turn that knob up. The heat.
Say it without saying it.
Yeah. You go relax. You go shower.
But what are you doing for several hours? Like, is he sitting on the couch? Because
Probably video games.
I'm crazy, and we know that. We've talked about my craziness. Even when Tate does not smell bad, but like if it's suntan lotion or sunscreen, and we got in from being at the pool, like shower immediately. Don't sit on the couch. Don't sit like you can. It's more of like the bed, the couch, like the kitchen table. I don't care, but like if you're smelling bad, don't lay on the couch.
The cloth. It's the
yes,
cloth.
Exactly.
Don't do anything.
Is he sitting on the couch stinky? I would have to break up with him.
Oh my gosh. And again, Eugene, when he'll come back and he takes off his work boots, I mean, these are like saunas in there.
Do you leave him outside?
No, we have a drying rack.
Okay.
We have bought everything under
I've
the
seen
sun
those
for-
contraptions. You like flip your boot up.
Yeah, you flip your boot up, put it on, and then he also has like inserts and stuff because he gets super self-conscious. He doesn't want his shoes to start.
That's what
to
I'm
smell.
saying. Like, doesn't the
There
boyfriend?
are things you can do.
Tate leaves his shoes outside.
Oh, really?
He just like nips it in the butt.
Yeah.
And he's not even doing any manual labor. I mean, I said he, coaches lacrosse, but that's his side job.
Lacrosse and hockey, I heard, are like the
Stinky.
two smelliest
Yeah.
sports because
And he leaves the lacrosse bag in the car sometimes, and that's a whole other problem with us. I'm like, he's Febreze in there. I'm like, you're nose blind. At least his boyfriend is nose blind. Not to quote Febreze, but he is.
Remember that one time I left a pumpkin out for months
And it was moldy.
It was moldy and it was.
And the
you know it's
neighbors
bad
were
when
like,
I
"Please."
can smell it, and all of a sudden I was like, it smells like a diaper. Like I wonder how long that thing had been smelling. Okay, Elise,
Good luck.
in
Sing it. You
summary,
smell.
sing it. Tell him to relax, but at a certain point you got to tell him.
And don't sit on the couch.
Yes.
All right, Remy from Radnor, you're up next.
You like that name?
I do like Remy.
Remy,
I
isn't that
do.
cute? My one of my girlfriends named her son Remy, and I like love it.
There's a TikToker that is famous, and her name is Remy.
Oh, it's a
So it
he.
makes me-
My friend named.
She's a
him.
female.
Oh, okay.
So,
it
either
goes
way.
Either way.
Okay, this is a two-part issue, I believe. My coworker only talks about herself and picks her nose on Zoom.
And
These are two separate
the way it was presented to me, it was issue 1, issue 2. I find that very interesting because they specifically made it 2 issues, and
you
then
combined
I
it.
combined it for conciseness.
For time purposes.
As a
So which angle are we attacking?
why do you think it needs to be? Don't you think this is a?
They're mutually exclusive. Picking your nose on Zoom and talking about yourself are two different things.
I
They are
just
like apples and oranges.
I just think this is an annoying coworker thing. But I guess let's dissect her coworker talking only about herself.
That has to be one of the worst qualities of a person. Yeah. It's hard to sit there and listen to someone only talk about themselves and you can't get a word in edgewise.
I think it's immaturity that this person will grow, will grow and understand.
I mean, you're at a job.
Right.
You're not in school. You're not on the playground. You should be grown.
But if you're a young, professional,
Entry level.
gosh, when I just started out, I was a totally different person. I probably talked about myself a lot.
What do you mean? Like, so take me back to when Monica first started. Like, what is that statement?
Monica first started, I moved to Texas by myself, and a squirrel moved into the wall next to my bedroom, and I couldn't sleep at night. I'm pretty certain I came into work all the time like, guys, the squirrel won't shut up.
And they don't care. They're like, Monica will not stop talking about this squirrel.
My friends in Texas would make fun of me all the time. They'd be like, oh, squirrel Fran. But I think with maturity, then all of a sudden I realized like life isn't about me and other people have problems. And I've had to, kind of go into my mind and say,
Humble yourself.
yeah, don't forget to ask people about this.
And listen.
And listen
There's
to what they
nothing
say.
worse than having a coworker who asks you a question and then you can tell that they're pretending to listen, but they're actually not listening
why'd
at
you
all.
ask?
It's like it's going in one ear, out the other, so you don't care at all.
There is a training to that. I really do think people do not listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you need to teach your coworker how to do it, but I'm saying don't write this coworker off. They're a little selfish.
Oh no, see, I'm writing them off when they pick their nose on
Yes.
Zoom.
Done.
That is like
Done.
Does she know the camera's on?
Well, people just kind of forget. You know what I mean? Like we've spent so much time on Zoom that you're kind of just sitting there. I know on Zoom when we have calls.
Yeah, you forget your facial expression,
and I'm rolling my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been there, done that. You're listening
roll my
to your
eyes on
coworker,
Zoom too
and you're
much.
like, oh, okay, everyone can see me rolling my eyes at this meeting. Rolling your eyes and picking your nose are two different things, though.
right.
Just like we were just saying.
So I know we've recently talked a lot about bodily functions and picking your nose, but picking your nose, I told you, it's a deal breaker. Don't do it. Don't be that person. And you're on
Someone
Zoom.
needs to tell her or him. We don't know. Oh wait, no. Talks about herself. It's a woman. Someone needs to tell her to knock it off. Hey, Karen, your camera's on. That's what I would say.
Oh my God, no. Oh no, I'm not saying a thing.
She doesn't have one friend to be like, the entire company is watching you pick your nose on
she's
Zoom.
clearly not making a lot of friends if she's talking only about
She
herself.
does not care.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't care.
All I'm saying is don't write this person off and just be like, I'm never talking to this person. All they do is talk to themselves. They might be, don't write them off. But the Zoom thing, don't bring it up to them. There's no need.
So you just want to continue to watch this person pick their nose on Zoom?
I don't want to, but what can you
Whoever
do?
is the controller of this meeting needs to turn that camera off.
Yeah. Oh, you can do that. Can't you?
If you start the meeting and you're like the control person, you can turn people's cameras off.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You need to turn that camera off.
you can control
save
that
her, save her the embarrassment
wants
and
to see
cut that.
That's a really good idea. And then maybe she'll start to understand like, oh, maybe
Why
I
don't they
shouldn't
wanna
be
see
picking
me?
My nose.
Okay,
Like, how many times are you doing this?
it's often.
Oh, that's so gross. Nobody wants to see
And
that.
if you're
Turn that
tired of the
camera off.
conversation, just don't talk to her.
Well, yeah.
You're saying don't cut her off. I probably would. I don't have patience for.
Don't get angry about it. There's no need to get angry about it because I could see actually some people getting very irritated with the fact that this person only talks about themselves. My thought is to not get irritated with it, but don't engage in conversation.
Yeah.
No need to engage in conversation.
And sometimes that's a sign that they maybe aren't the most confident person in the world.
Yeah,
and they're
it's a
trying to
shame.
prove themselves. And
I'm telling you, it's a phase. This person will get through it. Not.
so you felt that you were in this phase before.
Yes. I probably was
Minus
at one point.
the Zoom picking.
No, I was not picking my nose on Zoom.
Okay.
But you guys know how I do most of my. We're on Teams here at PHL 17. We're on Teams. I always hold the phone like this and totally. Right.
And you do scratch your nose a lot when you do the forecast, and
Yes,
like
I
when
do.
you
and people.
people might think that you're picking your nose.
That's fine. You know what? If that's what you want to think, that is fine.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not picking my nose. Okay. But yeah, I go like this all the time.
All the time.
I have an itchy
All the
face.
time.
I have an itchy face. And then I'm always like itching my arms on. Sorry. You can turn off the TV, but I
No!
wouldn't suggest it.
Don't do that.
You won't get the most accurate forecast in all of Philadelphia.
Do not do that. All right, Camilla? Is that how?
Would you like to go Camilla?
Camilla?
Camilla.
Camilla?
Camilla reminds me of the Royal Camilla and Camilla.
It reminds you of the singer.
Yeah, so Camilla from Clifton Heights.
All right, I set up a friend with one of my boyfriend's friends, but I don't think it
follow
worked
this.
out. I don't know how to ask.
I like that they said IDK.
Well, this is the social media
IDK.
response. So
Yes.
we can keep it casual.
So, just to break this down, Camilla set up her friend with one of her boyfriend's friends. I don't
Never
think
a good idea.
Yeah. I don't think it
I'm
worked
going to
out.
stop you right there, Camilla.
The only thing is she doesn't know if it worked or not.
So how good of friends
therefore-
are you?
Yeah, like
You are
therefore
not
this
friends.
is not infiltrating into a problem because it doesn't seem like it was a big deal.
It doesn't seem like that you're friends at all. How do you not know?
I know.
How do you not ask?
How do you not
Hey,
ask?
how's it going? Do you like him?
Camilla, do you know how friends work? You should probably check up.
She's like, okay, I did my work here. I'm gone. My work here is done.
She goes, IDK had to ask.
Just text her.
Text or call? Call. You can
Have you
call.
not seen your friend? Do you not go out on the weekends?
How are things? How did it go?
This
with
is
guy?
bizarre, and I think that the issue is not the issue. I think the issue is the person that submitted it in. Like, I can't understand this. Like, I don't know how to ask. Well, how's it going?
How
Three
are
words.
things?
How's it going?
When I don't
Send.
know how to ask a specific question, like my really good girlfriend, her dad was in the hospital, but I didn't want her. I wasn't sure if she knew I knew. You know what I mean, kind of thing. Just
Yeah,
text
and you
her.
didn't want to overstep.
Yeah.
Oh, you just texted her.
I just text her, "How are things?" And then she goes,
Oh, okay. So you didn't ask like explicitly.
A friend of a friend told, or not a friend of a friend, our group of girlfriends
Got around,
One of my friends said, "Oh, so and so's father's in the hospital," and I was like, "Oh, I really want to know how things are, but I also don't want to sound like I'm nosy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just was, "How are things?" And if
I
she
think that's
wants
so different though. We're talking about like a fling
Yes.
versus like a
a fling that you set up,
yeah.
you know
And,
what I
like,
mean?
Is the boyfriend not really?
If I
friends?
send my friend's father to the hospital, I'd probably then be more direct. But in this case, if you set this up, you can be more direct about it. I think your friend is sad that you haven't asked how it
I don't
went.
think they're friends. I don't think that they're friends. I'm going to say that.
And then she's saying my boyfriend's friend. You can't
I
ask
just
him.
said the boyfriend. Like,
Oh,
are they friends?
I know.
They are four strangers.
There are so many people.
They don't know each other, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Okay, so I mean, Camilla, it seems like
You're the problem.
yes.
Send a text message, call, ask your boyfriend to ask if you're scared to ask, or you IDK how to ask.
IDK had to ask. Simply, I love
This
tea.
issue is-
I love tea. You know what I mean? Like I want to know so bad.
I'm going
how
to say
things
maybe
are.
it didn't work because no one's talked about it, and they just don't want to talk about it.
Or it's going swimmingly, and your friend,
Is busy.
is busy.
No.
No, I mean, no, it's still, they all sound like complete strangers. but my guess is I would think that this is going well. If it didn't work, I could see a friend coming back. Well, thanks for the hookup. That sucked. That person was annoying. Don't ever set me up with someone like that again. Or I think it's going swimmingly, and that's why you haven't heard anything.
Okay. All right,
Camilla.
Camilla, you need to figure it out.
You need to be a better friend, Camilla.
All right, what is Monica crying about this week?
So I
This is just written as busy schedule. You have
I'm
about
so
5
busy.
minutes to tell us
I'm
what
so
this
busy
means.
I couldn't even come up with a good lower third for this. So this weekend, we're going to go all the way back 2 years ago. Pandemic. We were in the height of pandemic. We had bought concert tickets. And the concert was canceled, and they said, we will reschedule. They now have rescheduled the concert for this weekend. I'm going with, supposed to go with a lot of friends who I have not seen in, I'd say, years. Pandemic reasons, just life reasons. A lot of them live in the DC area, which isn't all that far, but I'm super Philly based right now.
A 2-hour drive really can.
I don't leave Philadelphia. And so now there's this concert, and what's really nice is they're coming up to Philly for the concert, and it's going to be a big group. It's going to be fun. I can see many, many people all at once.
So what's the problem?
Well, then also this weekend, it's my brother's birthday on Saturday, and he's having friends down the shore, and he's, actually specifically said, "Oh, I'd love it if you could be there." And then, also real quick, my sister just broke up with her.
That's a whole other issue.
That's a whole other issue.
Leah,
So she just broke up with her boyfriend, and I need to be there for my girl.
So you feel like you're being pulled in many directions.
Many directions. One of the
Where will your sister be this weekend?
She'll be down the shore
With your brother.
with my brother.
Okay.
And they're gonna hit the tiz
So you
out.
have 2 locations that you need to decide between.
Yes. Should I go to the concert, see friends I haven't seen in forever, or spend another weekend with my family who I see all the time? But this is a special
But
weekend.
it's a birthday and a breakup.
It's a birthday and a breakup.
That's like a double whammy, like happiness, sadness, party.
But both mean
Equal part. It's like,
party.
what's that graph called? The circles and they
The
cross.
circle
Breakup, birthday. The middle part would be
is
Venn diagram, right?
Venn diagram.
It's called.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think that's it. That's it.
The circle would be party.
With the circle is party.
And the concert's, and the concert's just a circle that just says party.
Yeah, that does not go into the Venn diagram. It's
No.
a little loop.
Okay. What I think you
would
should
you
do is, what time's the concert?
Concert's at 5
p.m.
5 p.m.
What time's the birthday start?
I think it's
All
gonna be
day. Because there's nothing like a day party down the shore. Oh, those are the best.
I know, that's the problemo.
Okay, so what time is this tailgate kicking off for the concert?
Yeah, I think some of my friends said that they're going to get there like at noon.
So
So everything's a day drinking.
yeah, this is tough. I think you have to do both.
Right. I think if we go to the concert, we definitely are doing both because we're going to go to the concert for like an hour. And then, really, we're going to drive from the shore, go to the concert, and then drive
Do you
back
have to go to the shore on Friday?
Yeah,
Why?
because I love it.
So that you're making it harder for yourself. So I don't think you're going to stay there for an hour. I think you're going to be lying to yourself if you say you only
Right.
stay for 1 hour. You just said you haven't seen these people in years and years. You
Years.
think you're going to pop in and pop
Yeah.
out? No.
That was the plan. Hi, guys.
No.
Oh, my God. I
You're
drove
gonna
all the
be
way
there
from
for
the
at
shore.
least
Aren't I
3
such a good friend?
At least 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Tailgate that 2 to 3 hours. But then you can't, because you're gonna have to drive to the beach, so it's like you can't. Or you.
Well,
can.
yeah. No, I would stay sober.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
mind
Like you
doing
can't
that.
really have, you can't really party per se.
Which that's not what it's more about seeing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than partying. So, and then I was gonna head back to the shore
Oh, that's a headache.
and hit up the late night celebrations. Whereas they're gonna go all day. I'll hit up the late night celebration.
You think they'll last all night?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
I think I think you have to do
that Venn
both.
diagram, that party in the middle, is all day and all night party.
You got to do both. That's what you have to do, and it's going to be a pain, but you have to please everyone.
I do. I love pleasing everyone. It's my goal in life is that everyone
Likes
I know likes me and is happy and
You're in the wrong industry for that.
I know I am. And
Everyone on television's not going to like you
I
all the
feed
time.
off of it, and like people who are like, you can't make everyone happy. I always go, yes, you can.
Well, we'll see if you can do that on Saturday. But of course, this was episode 42. Next
Even
week,
numbers.
Yes, next week we'll talk a little bit more about why we're dropping the Dishin. And that was your
Get
Delco
excited.
Duo. See you next time.